Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. So this video, it's going to be a guide. Once you've re-rolled your account, you got your heroes, you're ready to go. Some common missteps and what you should be looking to do early game. So number one thing, I got everything unlocked here, but when you first start, it's basically just going to be this adventure mode right here. You're going to want to go ahead in the beginning and just hit that adventure mode as hard as you can, because that's going to unlock all the other modes in the game. When you start out, you're going to be on easy. And just go ahead, hit the story, at least try to get to World 2. It's going to start to unlock some of these extra dungeons. It's going to unlock PvP. It's going to unlock a lot of the extra farming things in the town. So just grind on that. Energy at the beginning of the game is not going to be a problem because you're going to be ranking up so much. It's really not going to matter. And, but yeah, as you're unlocking things too, there's going to be tutorials. Don't skip the tutorials because the tutorials all have rewards at the end of them. So, some pretty good gear to develop your characters, etc. So what you're going to want to do, some common things, some mistakes I made. So I'll show you guys. It's kind of hard to show you this one, but I'm going to do it anyways. So there's this thing right here. You can see it up here called missions on the top left there. This is capturing my mouse. Hold on. Fix that. Alright, here we go. There it is. Alright, so there's this thing called missions right here. And it's going to have a certain setup and it's going to follow a branching path for 10 pages. So it's going to say things like do a bounty hunt 2 times, or run X dungeon 3 times, get a character to max a 5-star character, win in PvP 3 times. Well, you need to actually pay attention to this because you only have so many charges of certain things. So let's say I get to page 2 and it says win 5 PvPs. Or actually a better example is do 3 bounties. Well, if I go over to my town, go to my bounty list right here, well, I'm screwed because I only got 1 bounty left, so now I can't complete the quest unless I'm willing to spend the crystals to reset it. Which I don't recommend early game, it's up to you. I do it once a day now because I got so many crystals and I'm not really pulling on this banner this week. But it might say something else like, I'll show you guys. Go do the gold dungeon 3 times. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna go do the gold dungeon 3 times. Whoops! Gold dungeon's out of charges. Can't do it. And I gotta spend tickets to reset it. Tickets cost, a certain amount of crystals. So just pay attention and plan ahead because stuff you're gonna be doing in the game anyways. If you do it in a certain order, you're gonna get XP Mon, you're gonna get Evo Mon, you're gonna get money, you're gonna get free tickets, free crystals, etc. So plan for that. And that's one thing that I screwed up the first 2 days is I was just doing things and then I'd look at it, okay, what's my next mission? Oh, oops, I was supposed to do this thing, but I'm out of charges or I'm out of energy now, so I screwed myself. And so try not to make that mistake. Pay real close attention to these mission logs. Number 2, common thing that trips people up right here in the challenges. Eventually, you're going to unlock the time-space void. The time-space void, basically it's like a branching tower, so the more you go up, you start to get all these rewards, and eventually you get to floor 15, and you get the super reward that's right in the middle of the screen here. But be careful and pay attention to what's in here, and don't necessarily just go charging in right away, because check out the heroes. Once you start to get more familiar with the heroes, hell, even look them up if you're not familiar with them. Because when a character dies in this, they're dead for the week until this cooldown period's done. They're dead. So your best character, you let him die? Well, see you next week, pal. And so you're going to have increasingly harder and harder, and especially as a new player, increasingly harder and harder, trying to get up here and clear these dungeons and get these rewards. So that's another common thing that trips people up. So be especially careful and don't just charge in the first day. Get your character set, get your team set, get your tank rotation, get familiar with your characters. You got a week. You got a week. It costs energy to do this. It doesn't give much XP, but you got a week. So that's another common trip up there. Third common trip up, eventually you're going to unlock the town. When you come to the town, as you can see, my town's basically all, not all built up, but all the buildings are unlocked. When you come to the town, most important things about the town. Upgrade your mine. The mine in this game, basically it has 3 hours. It'll get X amount of gold per hour. And every 3 hours it'll be full, which kind of sucks, but whatever. So at least it's full fast. It'd be nice if it stored gold for like 8 hours or something, but whatever. Nitpick, right? So your mine's the most important thing. And your town hall, you're going to have to upgrade that in order to get your mine leveled up. Now, as you can see with some of these other buildings, the windmill, 5-star heroes can be transformed. Cost a fair bit of gold, and when you actually get it, costs a fair bit of gold as well. This is more medium end-game stuff. Stuff I'm not willing to invest in right now just because I literally just bought the last level of my mine. So I'll get around to this stuff eventually, but don't worry about it early game because you're not going to have the gold for it unless you're willing. And if you're willing, even then you got better things to spend your gold on. So other than that, let's see, is there anything else? Friend points, be really careful with your social. I know there's a lot of people, they join these games and they're like, I'll just friend everybody that, you know, I use as a unit. I mean, it depends on the type of player you are. You can do that, but once you get to the point where maybe you're getting to know people, you got people in your guild you want to start friending. There's been a bug sometimes where you can only remove 10 friends a day. I don't know if that's intentional, because it didn't happen to me, but some people, they're claiming that happens to them, so be very careful of that. And then as you get friends too, make sure every day you're hitting this send and receive PAL points. PAL points, it's this currency right here. You can use it to exchange for various things. I'll go over it another time. So those are some of the common misconceptions. To think if there's any other ones you guys should do. Nah, not really. Just, oh yeah, there's one thing. So, crystals. It takes 200 crystals to do an 11 draw. You're going to start the game with your inventory. Eventually you unlock runes. Your hero box is going to be 100 slots. Maybe after you've done a couple pulls and you got your team set up, I immediately suggest getting it to at least 200 because they are going to drop so many things on you, including little monsters and XP mons, etc. You're not going to have the inventory space, so upgrade that ASAP. Runes, same thing. I upgrade mine to 100. It starts at 50. Depending on how many runes you get, that's another thing I should go over, actually. So runes in this game, the first week it was half energy, the rune dungeon, so it was really good. But the problem now, unlike all the other dungeons, you go to the special dungeon, and even early game. So a normal dungeon, I'll show you the gold dungeon. By the way, always run hard on everything that's not the Evo dungeon when you first start out, because trust me, your team's fine as long as you get them up in levels like past 30. You can do that in every dungeon except the Evo dungeon. Evo dungeon's a little harder. You can probably do it on the second or third day, just because it's hero characters that you're fighting. But you see the hard on this mode, it's 32. The hard on rune mode, 77. You'll get probably 3 to 4 runes if you're lucky 1, 2 6 stars. So be really careful because early game 77 energy is a lot. You're not going to get a lot of XP in here. And my advice, just wait for half energy to come back. Hopefully it'll be back in a couple weeks. So you are going to need runes, but you know, if you're working all day and you got the energy and you're not going to play the game, yeah, run Rune Dungeon a couple times. That's what it's there for, but otherwise, not that much. But yeah, keep grinding story, you know, get to the point where level 2's easy, the second world's easy. And that's pretty much it, honestly. I'll be going over, I'll probably do a tier list video next. I could show you guys some of the heroes and do a banner review. So until then, guys, I'm Showtimedr on Twitch. Check me out, twitch.tv, and I will catch you later.